Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Tim Hay with NASPA Value Point, and I'd like to welcome you to the NASPA Value Point Immediate Needs Aftermarket Auto Parts webinar. This was led by the state of Oklahoma. This is another alternative contract for automotive and light and medium duty truck parts. Just a couple of housekeeping items before we get started. We are recording today's webinar, so it will be available up on the NASPA Value Point website. We are going to take questions at the end of the webinar, so if you could hold off on any questions until the end, that would be great. And if you could use the mute button on your phone just to cut down on any background noise while we're conducting the webinar, that would be wonderful as well. Before we get started, I would also like to emphasize that we do recognize that this is a second auto parts contract that we have for NASPA Value Point. The state of California did lead another agreement, and that is also still in place. We are not replacing that agreement. We are only supplementing that agreement with some additional service locations. So with that, I'm going to turn the reins over to Teresa Johnson from the state of Oklahoma, who led this project. And Teresa, take it away.
Thank you, Tim. Welcome, everyone. Again, my name is Teresa Johnson, and with the state of Oklahoma, I'm a contracting officer. This was my first lead, so I was very excited to participate, and also want to commend the state of California for an excellent solicitation that we leaned very heavily on, but we're fortunate enough to be able to add some additional locations and improve the turnaround time. So if we can go ahead and get started. I would like to thank my sourcing team, which came into this after several of them had worked with the state of California, and I appreciated their expertise. But I want to give a special shout out to Jason Grove, Greg Mooney, and Brad Cummings. They were especially invaluable to me, and I appreciate their help so much. We awarded to 3 contractors. We'll list those later. Of course, we have the Oklahoma solicitation number. Also, the contract was awarded July 20th of 2016. Our award structure had 19 categories. We added a winter accessory category that wasn't on the California solicitation, and ours is also a discount off list price. And we received no protests on our solicitation. The main changes that we made to the solicitation, of course, are the lead state requirements that we added. The initial RFP was released on February 2nd of 2016. We had a pre-proposal conference that we had a few attendees. As I said, we did not veer very far from the California solicitation. So it was just basically some housekeeping items that we dealt with, and that was held on February the 11th. There were actually 3 amendments or addenda. The state of Oklahoma, we use the word amendments to solicitations, and they were basically answering questions. We didn't make any monumental changes to the document. The proposals were due March the 16th, 2016, and we received 5 proposals in total. As was the state of California, this was a 2-envelope process. We did the administrative technical requirements, the pass-fail on the mandatory and non-mandatory requirements, and then the technical or scored requirements. We also did a market basket for the cost proposal. That was the largest percentage of our points were for cost, and it was the discount off list. and we increased the market basket, I'm sorry, to include 6 vehicles. The 2008 vehicles, the 2009 vehicles that were listed with the state of California, and then we added 2015 vehicles. The market basket was just based on taking the parts, certain vehicles, model, manufacturer and model numbers, and having a list of automotive parts that were specific to that vehicle, and we did have the vendor provide their cost, and that the evaluation was done basically from that. Of course, we scored the sourcing team is listed at the beginning, were the ones that reviewed the proposals. We had a few end users that were from the state of California, state of Oklahoma, from our fleet division and from our Department of Transportation that came in and participated. I really appreciate them, and they really did appreciate being a part of the process. Sometimes it's a mystery as to what we do, and so they appreciated being brought in, and their expertise was invaluable to us. We also had the customer references where the vendor provided their references that already had the points assigned to it, and that was given the score of 150. And then the retail establishment, which was given 100 points, but that was really very important to this solicitation because we really did want to add more brick and mortar locations. That was one of our objectives. Again, this is dealing with the cost evaluation. She will be added the 2015 models to get a little bit more variety of models, and then also reiterated the 2008 model on the original. And then I've already explained how we did what was actually added on the market basket, and then of course gave the cost factor, or 75 or 750 points. This is going into who we awarded the contract to, and this is in no particular order, but we awarded to Napa Parts. I think one of the biggest benefits to having Napa is that they are a national company and recognizable, and that they have the brick and mortar stores. The next vendor is IEH Auto Plus. These are a company that merged Pep Boys. Most people would recognize Pep Boys. That is going to be an invaluable addition to this contract. They are actually a parts manufacturer, so they're going to bring a great deal of expertise to this contract for our end users that are going to be availing themselves of calling in for parts and getting assistance, or actually going into the stores. So we're looking forward to doing business with them. And then the last is OReilly, which has a significant presence nationwide with all of the stores. So, again, and they're a proven contractor. They've held the contract in the past along with Napa. And so we already know that those two vendors are going to perform very well. So we're very fortunate to have them back on the contract. Again, there's the categories. You will notice that we added the winter accessories. That was on the previous solicitation, and we had decided to add that back. But there haven't really been any basic no changes to this. That's basically what we did before. We did really well with the discount. We got an increased discount. We average about 50% off list, which we're very excited about. Also, we increased the delivery guarantee for locations that are within 20 miles of a store location, and there are over 12,000 combined locations with all three vendors. And as they have with the 24-hour window, your end users will be able to get supplies even faster. All three vendors have an extensive online catalog and the capability to order online or to call if you have questions. They have great contacts that have been assigned to this contract. Yeah, but we also, in addition to automotive, have the light and medium duty truck parts. I know to our ODOT location, that was very important because it does go beyond just automotive. We also have a lot of truck parts. And then, of course, as I've mentioned, the benefit is that all three of our vendors are nationally, not only nationally recognized, but nationally situated so that you will have plenty of coverage.
All righty, so I'll take over from here. So thank you, Teresa. This is Tim. We'll talk about the participating addendum process real fast. So all of the agreements are now available up on the NASPA Value Point website. And as you know, all states have executed, and the District of Columbia have executed what we call a NASPA Cooperative Memorandum of Agreement, which allows them to be eligible to use any NASPA Value Point Cooperative Master Agreement that we have in place. So there's three options for participating in the in this cooperative agreement for the auto parts. We like option one the best, is where a state will sign a participating addenda for the entire state, which includes the political subdivisions within their state. Sometimes you recognize that a state may not be able to utilize these agreements, but if they can't do that, but if they don't have a problem with the poly subs using these agreements, then we would certainly encourage option two, to where they would still sign the PA, but allows them to allows the poly subs to use those agreements as well. And then option three is where a state does not execute a participating addendum. That doesn't mean the political subdivisions are out in the cold. We can still allow for political subdivision use, provided that we do a check-in process with the state CPO first to ensure that they don't have any objections. Now, a question comes up a lot, well, you know, the state of blank doesn't have any authority over what my city does. That may be the case, but we as a cooperative do not want to compete against any in-state cooperative programs that the state may have. So if a state has their own in-state cooperative for auto parts, we don't want to, I guess, tread on their territory. So that's why we do that check-in process first. But once we have the approval from the CPO that they don't object, then the states and the political subdivisions are free to negotiate with the suppliers. Through the PA process, states and entities may obviously select which contractors they want to use. We have three of them available for these agreements. They can include any of their state administrative fees, also include any required or unique terms and conditions within their states that they need to have in their contracts. Identify the options for states or their political subdivisions within the state, and then also request any state-specific reporting or other reporting requirements in their state, and that can all be done through a state-led participating addendum. So I'm not going to read this verbatim, but primarily states and political subdivisions negotiate directly with the entities. The lead state or NASPA value point, we do not get involved in those negotiations of your participating addendums. We're certainly here to answer any questions, and if you're unsure of something, feel free to reach out to either Teresa or myself. Teresa would be the best person to talk to if you need to have any master agreement interpretation issues. But if you're unsure of like the PA process or just NASPA value point processes, you can certainly reach out to me as well. So there's 3 slides here. The non-entity slides, we just have that check-in process with the CPO. In fact, we have a, well, it's not on here. We have a flow chart which is on the website that outlines the process. But if there are any political subdivisions that want to utilize these agreements, just shoot NASPA Value Point an email saying we'd like to utilize one of these agreements, and then we will take the reins for you and for the state CPO on your behalf. So things to remember, all of the sample PAs are located on the NASPA Value Point website, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. We will keep a copy of all the executed participating addendums up on our website as well as in our own internal repository. Participating states and entities will be identified on our map on NASPAValuePoint.org on which states are utilizing the agreements. As I mentioned earlier, we or the lead state do not get involved with your negotiations and only submit completed and negotiated PAs with signatures from both parties. Sometimes we get PAs that are in the works that don't have any signatures on them, and they sometimes accidentally get posted up on the website, so we only ask that you send us the completed PAs once everything is executed, and preferably send them in a PDF format. So if there's any questions that you have regarding the NASPA Value Point process and how it works, you can certainly reach out to me. And if I'm not the right person, I will get you in contact with the right person at NASPA Value Point. So with that, I would like to open it up to any questions that anybody has. Oh, first of all, before we do that, let me show you where things are located on the website. So if you go to our main website and just search for auto parts, you will see 2 contracts here. One is the one led by the state of California, and is titled OEM or Auto Parts 2015 to 2019 OEM and Aftermarket, and you'll see the big CA right here. And then Auto Parts, we kind of changed the title around. Even though we officially called Immediate Need Auto Parts, I did put Auto Parts then Immediate Need Aftermarket just for search functionality, so Auto Parts comes up and they both come up together. You can click on this link right here, and this will just take you to the high-level information regarding the contract. Here is the original RFP. Here's the amendment number 1. There are a couple of more amendments that we will get posted today, and also this webinar presentation and the PowerPoint will be also posted today on this page. To get into the contractors pages, just click on contractors, then click on any one of the logos, and you will see a copy of the signed master agreement, the pricing information, and their locations as well. And then any participating addendums that have been executed are located right here. And then the model participating addendum is located right here, and it's personalized for each of the contractors. And you can just click on that, and that'll download in a Word document. And so just download it, and like I said earlier, just start to negotiate directly with your contractors of your choice. So with that, I'd like to open it up to any questions that anybody may have for either Teresa or myself.
Tim, can you hear me?
Yes,
Hi,
I can.
I'm from Hawaii. I just have a question, but I'd like to thank State of Oklahoma and the team for conducting this solicitation. We were waiting for this contract to be implemented because that agency is waiting to start procuring auto parts. So thank you very much.
Okay.
I got several questions. Is there a total score regarding the final results of the 3 vendors, like who had the best score? I'm just asking who's ranked first, second, and third?
Yes, there are scoring documents available. I may have not posted the executive summary yet. Let me take a quick peek here, Stan. If not, I will get the executive summary posted up on the website that has that information.
Okay. My next question is on the contract term is for 1 year. From July 20th, I guess, to July 19, 2017, with option of 4 one-year extensions. Just a question, when you do the extension, do you do it 1 year at a time, or 2 years, or one time at 4 years? Or is undecided at this time?
The state of Oklahoma can only contract for 1 year at a time.
Okay, so you're going to do 1
so
year
that
plus
it would
4,
be every year.
Okay, every year. Okay, thank you. Okay. My next question is, the pricing is pricing of a discount of list price, correct? So if I were to buy a spark plug in Hawaii, would it be the same cost as a spark plug in Oklahoma, delivered FOB destination? Is that correct?
I believe so. I don't know if they maintain a separate, I wouldn't think they would maintain a separate list.
So what I'm trying to say is the part delivered to Hawaii FOB destination, there's no extra charges, and the price for the widget would be the same price, correct? Whether you're buying in Oklahoma or in the state of Hawaii.
Yes, that is correct. It should be.
Okay.
The same. I don't know that we specifically addressed that. I don't want to be vague, but I'm trying to remember if that was specifically addressed. But the contract with FOB destination.
Oh, good. Okay, if it says that, then that's good. Okay. Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Stan. Anybody else have any questions today? Well, once again, I just want to thank everybody for taking the time out of their day to join this webinar presentation, and I also want to thank Teresa Johnson and her leadership for taking the reins over and conducting this RFP, and all of the sourcing team members as well. We couldn't have done it without you. As I mentioned earlier, we are recording today's presentation, and it will be posted up on the NASPA Value Point website a little later on today, along with this PowerPoint, and then we'll also get that executive summary information up as well. So with that, I'd like to wish everybody a great day, and we will talk to you all soon.